All right, welcome back to the broadcast. So this time, this broadcast is actually on the road. So in our last video post, we talked about how anxiety is really taking a chokehold on a lot of people in our society. So I'm taking my own advice. So I decided to stay connected, and that's what I recommend for you all. Stay connected with your young people, your students, your in college people, your family. Stay connected right now. I know there's all kinds of reasons and hindrances and things that could keep us apart. But anyway, you make sure that you're intentional to stay connected. You got to use creative means, but it is very important right now. So anyway, long story short, is making this visit to stay connected with one of our daughters in college. And we get out and arrive at the hotel. We couldn't really check in. They had a leak. And so I said, well, you know what? Let me stay positive, right? I told you on the last video, take the higher level. So staying positive, I said, well, fine, we'll go on out to lunch. So thank you, Juicy Crab. We enjoyed our lunch. So anyway, I come back and I have the bags and leftovers and got my clutch bag because this time I did not choose a purse that had a handle. Not a good travel advisory. But anyway, I come in and I get inside the room. Daughter had a meeting. So there's this dripping sound and I know that the hotel had a leak. And so I'm thinking, well, is this going on? Well, it turns out it was the motor. The motor in our refrigerator was going bad. So they didn't have another refrigerator unit, so they changed me to another room. That room didn't have the 2 beds that we asked for, so then had to change me to another room. Anyway, we finally got in there, and since we had a lot bigger space, we said, well, you know what? This is a great opportunity. My daughter invited her roommates over, and we sat in, had a nice conversation, and then I had a childhood flashback. So my mom came from a household of 4 daughters, and one of her sisters, my aunt, was the one to always champion heart-to-heart conversations. It's just funny how it ended up all of us sitting on one bed just sharing heart to heart. So I don't want you all to think you have to be a therapist. You really don't, but you just have to care, and you have to care enough to actually have these kind of conversations. So my aunt and my cousin and my sister and I used to have all kinds of conversations just sitting on my aunt's bed, just talking about what was going on, whatever issues were going on. And we didn't even call them issues back then. We were just heart to heart talking. So that's what love and care can do for you. So anyway, I wanted to share these 2 really incredible pieces of wisdom that these young ladies had. Here's the first one. Okay, this is them talking. This is why you need to stay connected. Sometimes you don't even have to have the solution. Sometimes God will move in the conversation, and the revelation and the wisdom will just come forth. It'll be amazing if you just care and let God do some of the rest. All right, so here's the first piece of information, okay? Well, revelation and wisdom. All right, the first thing they said was there are enemies of progress, but they recognize that everything was not an enemy. Sometimes they're just obstacles of progression. All right, and then they were sharing how they've had to endure, they've had to resist. And I just want to leave you this word along with their wisdom. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Sometimes you just have to endure. You got to push, you got to press. You just got to do whatever you need to do to overcome. But you can't let obstacles stand in your way. But the good news is everything is not an enemy. All right, take that wisdom, and I will see you on the next broadcast. And I am headed back on the road.